Hey everybody, welcome to the next episode of World Building with DMDave. I'm your host, DMDave, and thanks so much for watching. As always, be sure to like and subscribe this video, and do your best to ignore the sound of my dogs barking in the background. So far in this series, we have taken a series of maps from Dyson Logos' blog called the Dyson Logos, or the Dyson's Mega Delve, which is a total of 31 maps, all part of the same dungeon with multiple levels and tiers and all kinds of stuff. In fact, I've got a cool little diagram here that shows you exactly how all those pieces fit together. What I've done is numbered each one based on its distance from an exit. So for example, the Morlock Retreat, which if you've been following is the first map I started with, is 1 away. Last time I outlined the Lost River Cave West, which is 2 away, and so forth. This is to give me a little bit of an idea of sort of the level of difficulty that I want to have throughout the dungeon. The Morlock Retreat, if you remember, I ended up dividing into 2 different maps. One being the sort of the upper level, which you can see here, and it's basically just one long path. And then the lower level, which goes underneath of it. I've already gone ahead and stocked up the upper level for our Morlock Retreat. Now I want to do the second level for the Morlock Retreat. Alright, so here is what we're going to do. We're going to go back to our Mega Delve, my Mega Delve planning sheet, which I've been doing. It has my adventure details, the upper level planning, and now we're going to do the lower level planning. Remember, this is a 5-character adventure, so I'm going to need a budget of looks like 600 per 5 characters, so that ends up being 3,000 for my total budget. Okay, I've already rolled the random contents using the DMG's appendix, so now it's just a matter of deciding what's where. Remember, dominant is going to be our grimlocks, but our pets and allies are going to be other fun stuff like creatures that would complement them well, like dark mantles I had previously, as well as some insect swarms and other things that would have blind sight. Random can be kind of whatever I want. That's sort of the grimlocks end up avoiding through their time in the dungeon. Okay, let's take a look at what Area 1 is. Area 1 is basically the bottom of a cliff that the characters can enter from right here. Once they go down there, there's some Morlocks in there. Morlocks have the ability to hide within dark areas, or grimlocks I should say. So I'm going to take a couple more and have them as sort of additional guards. I would rule too, and I'll have them hidden, that the shriekers that we put up on the upper level can probably also alert these guys that something's coming. So I'm going to just turn on its nameplate real quick. Everything else is set up. I think 2 is good here. I don't really want more than that. So we got 2 grimlocks. Each grimlock is worth 100 experience points, so that's 200. Multiplier is 1.5. And that makes it 75. Actually, we got to fix the math here real quick. Makes it 60 per character for a 2nd level adventure. That is an easy encounter. So we got that one right there. Okay, next up we've got kind of this cool area right here. Our spreadsheet says there needs to be a pet or an ally there. Not really sure what to put on there, so let's go to Don John's monster list. I've already got it saved here in my history. Remember, you can get this at donjon.bin.sh. Let's look for... We can do any source because, remember, this is not for sale. So I got all the monsters. I want to do something I never get to use. I think that would be a lot of fun. I think a challenge rating 2 monster would be really fun right there. So let's see what kind of monster would really make sense with our... grimlocks. A cave bear would be kind of cool. They're basically just polar bears. Let's see. Don't really want to use durgars. Gargoyles might be fun. Let's see. Gricks are really cool because Gricks have stone camouflage, or they actually have like a false appearance ability, which makes them appear as stone. Oh, wait, no, never mind. They have stone camouflage, so they get advantage on saves. Oozes are cool, but I don't really see anybody really kind of training them up. You know what? I want to go with my first instinct here. I think a cave bear would be a lot of fun. Cave bear is basically just a polar bear, but it doesn't have its snow camouflage, and instead, we'll see here, it gets dark vision. We'll turn this guy on, and he'll be kind of chained up, and the grimlocks occasionally feed him. It's got dark vision, so even though it's not blind like the grimlocks are, it could still do pretty good. It's got its dynamic lighting in place. What else did I need to set to it? That's it. Yeah, we'll make him pretty visible. He's not gonna be. He really can't hide while he's there. All right, so we got our cave bear. Let's go ahead and count for that. So one cave bear, that's 450 for a CR2. Only one multiplier. 90 experience makes this a medium encounter. This leaves us with so far 2,250. Trick will come back to you. Random with treasure. Let's see what part of a map that is on for us. So a random with treasure is gonna be in this little closet area here. Okay, so what kind of monster is in there? I'm gonna say probably some kind of vermin would be cool. Not necessarily something that what they want there. So let's do you know what? Let's do giant diseased rats. No, we'll just do giant rats because they don't have, as a second level character, they won't have the ability to remove disease yet, unless they've got a paladin or something with them. So I think we'll make it a pretty simple encounter here with some giant rats. Whenever they decide to load. Maybe these are the food stores for the grimlocks, and these buggers are eating them up. I'll put them on this for now, but let's see. That's, oops, I don't want to. We'll have them hidden for now. I think they have. They don't really have stealth. They got some good decks, but let's just put them on the normal layer then. That way you open up the door and a bunch of rats are eating away at the grimlock's food supplies. Constant issue grimlocks have. So we'll put 4 giant rats. Giant rat is, I think, 1/8. Yeah. So they're 1/8. It's 100 times 2 multiplier. Another easy encounter here. That's fine. So we're gonna have a big fight in here soon. And then there's something else in the other closet too. So we got something else in this area. Maybe that's an armory. Maybe they still have that rust monster. Nah, I don't really like to do the same random creature twice, but what would be good? Let's go back to Donjon and see what we got there. Let's just kind of look at our sheet. We'll organize it by challenge rating. Pick some maybe something a little heavier than them. A Grick's not a terrible idea. That doesn't really make sense if we get in there. You know, let's put a ooze in there. There's like an ochre jelly. I think that'd be fun. And they're large too, so it would fit in there pretty well. Alright. Ochre jellies are cool too. They also have blindside 60 feet. So they're used to being in dark areas. And I think giant rats have dark vision. So remember, there's not going to be a lot of lights running through this place because the grimlocks don't have any need for it. So you want to use stuff that's going to have dark vision if you want it to make ecological sense with what's going on. Alright, so we got an ochre jelly. 1 ochre jelly. That's 450. Multiplier of 1. Got another medium encounter here. Alright, area number 6 is going to be dominant again. And area 9 is also dominant. So we're getting closer to where our boss is. I think I wanted to put our boss in area number 9. I think that looks like a good boss area. So maybe we can have some of those grimlocks kind of hanging out in there. I'm not going to have them hidden because unless they know that something's coming, they're just going to be kind of chilling in here. And we're going to put a pretty good concentration of them. So we'll have, like, there's just a few hanging out, like maybe they're eating or something. I've got 5 grimlocks here. That's going to be a pretty good encounter. That's 500 multiplied times 2, so that's 200 experience. It ends up being a deadly encounter. Let's dial that back some. Let's go to 4 grimlocks instead. So you can see that used a lot of our budget. I want to save some for, I mean, we still have a bunch of creatures in here. Alright, so alright, that's 120, which is a medium encounter for 2nd level characters. We've still got 1,000 left to spend. What I'll probably do is go straight to this number 9 and then make some easier stuff. Probably just lots of vermin and stuff. So as much as I wanted to have 5 grimlocks, I'm gonna dial it back. Let's have the boss be in here, and I think it would be cool to have him as some sort of cult fanatic grimlock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a cult fanatic from my list here, okay, and I'm actually going to edit it so that it is a grimlock. So what I'm going to do is, while I've got the cult fanatic sheet open, I'm going to click on this wheel here, and I'm going to type Grimlock Cult Fanatic. Okay. And Grimlock, they are neutral evil. We'll leave all that the way it is. If you open up your your Dungeon Master's Guide up to page 282, it tells you the adjustments that you can make if you want to change the NPC features. So in this case, on 282, it says Grimlock gets a +2 to strength, so let's go ahead and give him that. Dex will be the same, and he gets a -2 to charisma. Okay. Wisdom is good because wisdom is his main spellcasting ability. Alright, it also gets blind senses, so let's see, blind sight 30 feet or 10 feet while deafened, blind beyond this radius. Speaks undercommon. Let's see what else. Can't be, so it's immune to blind. And it has blind senses and keen hearing and smell. Okay, so when we first do the basic options, and then we go down and we need to add in its additional options. So it's gonna have blind senses, which I'll copy from its original block, and then keen hearing and smell. The Grimlock has advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on hearing or smell. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I need to copy the Grimlock's blind senses feature. So all I got to really do is just open up its block here, scroll down, copy that, and just edit this real quick. And that's it. And because I'm a nerd for right format, I'm going to put it in alphabetic order like it's supposed to be. And I think that's all the changes we need. Let's double check one last time. Strength and charisma is adjusted. It's got blind senses, keen hearing and smell, stone camouflage. Stone camouflage. Okay. Stone camouflage. We'll take a look again at our Grimlock stat block so we can copy it exactly. Alright, cool. There we go. And it's got all these spells and cool stuff too. Pretty good. Alright, Grimlock Cold Fanatic. We'll decide the actual flavor of it when we go to write, like why it's a Cold Fanatic. I'll probably want to change its token too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click drag another Grimlock token here. I'm going to go to my Cold Fanatic, turn on its nameplate. I'm going to manually put in the hit points, and the reason you want to do that is because if I change it by its attribute, anytime one takes damage, all Cold Fanatics will take damage. I don't know that I would have another one in there, but I just want to make sure that I'm keeping it nice and tidy. Grimlock has blind sight, 60 feet, right? Oh, only 30 feet. Okay, great. All right, that's good then. There we go. So there's our Grimlock Cold Fanatic. And really, to really get it right, I should change its whole block here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Edit. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this. And then use that token there. Really, I need to add in. Here we can. Yeah. Pretty ugly, dude. But there's our Grimlock Cold Fanatic. So he can cast different spells. His CR probably wouldn't have changed, but so he's still going to be 450 because he's a Cold Fanatic. Alright, this gives us very little remaining budget left with which to build the rest of our encounters. Oh, for Pete's sake. I hit 2 before 2 was wrong. Alright, so I got 550 left to build encounters. A real quick way of doing that is because we got nothing but random creatures left. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 randoms. I got all kinds of critters crawling through here. So 550 divided by 3 means I need to do all stuff that's probably averages out to CR1. So let's go ahead and take a look at our monster list again. Let's get some cool vermin crawling through this place. Let's see, CR1, we can do chokers are fun. Probably a little bit too smart to be hanging out there. And let's see what rooms do we actually have to put this stuff in. We got area 12, 10, and 8, which are 8, 10, and where did I put 12? Okay. So I said what? Area 8, which is over there, area 10, and area 12. Okay, cool. 10, we can have just something. Let's have something weak. Like, I don't think something strong would be there blocking their entrance, creating a bottleneck. It's probably something that wouldn't really mess with them either. So maybe, what wouldn't want to mess with a Grimlock? Something weaker than a Grimlock. Grimlocks are CR 1/2, so let's look at what we've got in the 1/8 area. What would be fun? Maybe a poisonous snake hiding in there somewhere. I think that's fun. So we'll do that in our compendium. Let's see. Yeah, that's fun. Maybe a couple of them kind of wandered in to look for rats and stuff. So they're both 1/8. That was area 10. 2 poisonous snakes. 50, 1.5. That's a super easy encounter. So we got 4750 left. Let's do a random creature in area 8. would be in there. Yeah, we want CR1. Maybe they've something got in there and they haven't been able to get rid of it, so they like lock the door or like put something up against it. What would be fun to go in there? Vargoyles are fun, pretty tough, but still kind of, that'd be kind of unique. Like, yeah, let's do that. I think that's fun. If you don't know what a Vargoyle is, it is a kind of like a, it's kind of like a, here, I'll pull it open. Like what they do is they're like vampires and they bite your head and they give you this like kiss that makes your head tear off and attack people. So they're out on this thing. And they've sealed it in the door here. I don't think it has any abilities that allow it to escape. Yeah, it's got a stunning shriek, which they would hate, of course, because if they're deafened, it doesn't look like it deafens them either. But they've kind of sealed this thing off in here. Maybe it was their old leader or something too. I think that'd be kind of fun. And we've got this cult fanatic. Maybe like the old leader summoned it, and now it's just hanging out in there. Pretty freaky monster. And of course we'll telegraph it plenty by saying like, hey, there's a door that's sealed shut because there's a freaking Vargoyle in there. Kind of wish it had treasure. You know what? Let's put that Vargoyle in this area here. We'll say that was the old boss's room, and if the players want to go in there, they can score the boss's old treasure hoard. Okay, that's fun. All right, and again, that's gonna make it. It'll be an easy encounter, but a fun one. Okay, and I got one more thing with 275. You know what? Let's put a couple of things, probably a couple of CR 1/2 monsters that would end up averaging out to encounter experience of what we need it to be. What? Maybe this is like gray oozes are fun. That'd be kind of good. Shadows are fun. Again, it needs to be something that really wouldn't mess with the our homeboys and vice versa. Gas spores would be kind of interesting. So if you don't know what a gas spore is, it's a plant that looks like a yeah, I think that would be fun. Let's get some kind of plant in there. Either a gas spore or let's see what else we've got. We used the shriekers earlier and that was fun. I want something unintelligent. I'm thinking this stuff's too tough. Where is Assassin Vine? I'm not seeing it anywhere. Maybe it's in my compendium. I think it's because it's in Tomb of Annihilation. Yeah, there's Assassin Vine. I think Assassin Vines would be a lot of fun. Hopefully they're not too tough. We need it to be like CR1 or so, if it ever loads. Alright, let's look how tough they are. They're too tough. CR3. That'd wreck a party. You know, screw it. I'm going to put them in there. I think they're cool. It's got false appearance too, I'm pretty sure. I know we're a little bit over budget, but we can, again, we can have them sealing off these areas. While the Assassin Vine remains, yeah, it's got false appearance, so pretty deadly. But again, we're going to make sure that people know. One Assassin Vine. That makes it into a hard encounter, I think. Yeah, hard encounter. Okay, so we're a little bit over budget. That's fine. I'm not too fussed about that. We've got a couple of traps. So let's plan out some traps real quick to see if we have to put any kind of thing special down. Area 11 has a trap. I think obviously with that, it's like their way of saying, hey, don't go into there. maybe the Cold Fanatic cast something, so they are 4th level spellcasters. So again, we can go to Donjon. We can look at our spell sheet here. They are, I think, essentially clerics, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're clerics, so let's see what a cleric can cast. That might be kind of cool. Can they cast Glyph of Warding? Okay, so we're picking out a trap. It's a third. We picked out our bad guys cast a Glyph of Warding spell to keep people from letting the gargoyle get out of there. Our Glyph of Warding is going to be pretty tough. I think just a basic explosive rune on it would be pretty good, and we will also want to make sure that we've got some sort of protection in place against it. So let's get a reminder for our Glyph of Warding. I think I've got something here. Magic. Here we go. So we got a magic symbol that we can put down. A Glyph of Warding affects a area no larger than 10 foot in diameter. So let's go ahead and put that right there. We'll say Glyph and when I go to write, I'll put in what it actually does. Let's put this on the GM layer because it's a secret. This is keeping it's probably keeping the boss out as well as any other grimlocks from wandering in there. So we got our Glyph of Warding now. Alright. We'll make a note of that. Traditionally, traps won't adjust the encounter because characters ultimately have a choice to avoid it, and really encounters and encounter multipliers are meant to affect things that you could fight for 3 turns. Traps usually only last 1 turn. Now complex traps are a little bit different. You can actually build out the experience on those. The rules for that are in Xanathar's Guide to Everything. And then in other things, we got a couple tricks in rooms 7 and 3. 3 leads down to our big lair, and then 7 takes us, where's 7? Alright, and we can just do something weird in there, some sort of weird effect. But we'll come back to that when we do writing. That's basically it. I've taken my lower level of the dungeon here. I've stocked it with our Grimlocks, come up with the Grimlock Fanatic, put in some interesting, different non-SRD creatures in here, which is a lot of fun, especially since so much of what I write's in the SRD. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this dungeon. Okay, well, in our next episode, what I'm going to do is probably start writing this. I've already got both of our main levels here. I've got the, I don't think I showed you guys this yet, but I've actually got our Lost River Canyon finished in Photoshop and uploaded already with all the dynamic lighting in place. As you can see, it has that big cool pyre. So I think we're ready to go. We're going to pin this up and hopefully have it ready to run for my patrons on Thursday. So I'll be filming that too as soon as Thursday gets around. In the meantime, though, of course, I'll be tinkering around with this and making more cool stuff for the Dyson Mega Delve. Anyways, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.